first vice president of the collectivité, says she cannot help but think back about the historic relations between the two local governments. St. Martin Lions Club recognizes World Diabetes Day, and director of the NRPB gives an update on the NRPB home repairs. Those are the headlines for Friday, November the 13th, 2020. Good evening, viewers. This is SXM Daily News. I am Valerie Van Putten, and I thank you for tuning in this evening. And as usual, we have a full newscast for you, so let's get started. In our first story, as promised in yesterday's broadcast, SXM Daily News had the opportunity to have an exclusive interview with the director of the NRPB regarding the repairs to the homes damaged by Hurricane Irma back in 2017. Director of the NRPB, Mr. Claret Connor, says that they are indeed progressing with the home repair program. Mr. Connor divulged that they are currently in phase 3 of the private home repair program and are dealing with about 150 private homes.
Indeed, we are progressing with the home repair program. It is a project that is part of the Emergency Recovery Project 1, and now we are in phase 3 of the home repair program. Phase 3 of the private home repair program consists of about 150 private homes that we're busy with. We are right now dealing with a phase of about 100. These homes are being handed over to the owners as soon as we get through with the repairs for the homes. The repairs are repairs to the roof, enhanced repairs that I might add, windows and door repairs to these facilities that are private homes. The issue of the time that it took or the time that it is taking needs to be taken in context, because this project is a project with multiple activities. The home repair is one of the activities, and we are anticipating to finalize the home repair within the project sometime in 2021. The project runs from July, when it became effective after the signing of the grant agreement in July of 2018, and it's a 5-year program that will end in May of 2023. So, given the task of not only home repair within ERP, Emergency Recovery Project 1, but a number of other activities as well, we look at each segment of the program independently, and as we speak about the homes, we are happy to be accelerating this process as we move forward.
The director also stated that about 109 units in Belvedere were completed, taking into account the entire home repair program, which included private and social homes. According to Mr. Connor, they are currently doing an assessment of the towers in Belvedere.
If you take the entire home repair program into consideration, we were not only dealing with private homes, but we also dealt with social homes. And we did over 109 of the units at Belvedere. We are also in the process of doing the technical assessment for 2 of the towers, which consist of, I think, 64 apartments at the social housing. In the private home repair, we did a pilot project of 14. We also did 26 home repair that was minor damage. It wasn't as extensive as the ones that we're doing now. And now we are in the process of continuing with the private home repair repairs. We just handed over recently 11, and hopefully within the next 6 weeks we'll be handing over another 10 to the homeowners. One of the things I would like to mention to the public is the fact that the amount of persons that have been affected by this hurricane privately is way beyond the scope for what we are doing within the program as such. But what we can say is that when we turn the homes over to these individuals, they're very much appreciative of the fact that they have now a facility, a place of where they can rest their heads, knowing that the roof that was installed under this program has been done at a better and improved level that it was before. Windows and doors are also part of this of the activities that or the repairs that we are engaged with on this in this activity, but the enhanced way of the way in which the roof is being implemented was based on government's criteria that was set to ensure that future hurricanes, these homes would be willing to or be able to withstand these horrible and terrible storms that we're experiencing. The good thing about what we are doing is that once a home is handed back over to an owner, we oftentimes tend to look at it from the present or the past, but I would like for them to look at it in the future, because now you have a home that generations to come can enjoy on behalf of a trust fund that the owners did not have to contribute any finances to. It was done based on a set criteria that government instituted. These persons fell within that criteria. Government approved these homes to be repaired, and now the execution of the homes are being done. Hopefully we will be completed with this phase, this third phase, by the middle of 2021.
And about the way that the residents have responded to their homes finally being completed, the director divulged that they are satisfied, overwhelmed, and appreciative of their homes finally being completed.
Since Irma hit the island in September of 2017, and as I stated, the grant agreement for this project was signed in April of 2018. It became effective in July of 2018. The project runs for 5 years. This activity hopefully would be completed within short. Obviously with COVID, there was some delays. But when it comes to the individuals that receive that key from us back, they are assured that the home, number one, is more sturdy than it was before. We actually went ahead and ripped roofs off down to the rim beam and rebuilt it with different retrofits that would ensure that the roof is now of a particular standard that would withstand high winds, and the experience that you have from the families and the owners of these homes, it's overwhelming to see how appreciative they are, despite the fact that they waited a few years in order for them to be able to get back to their homes.
So you would say that they were quite satisfied?
Totally satisfied. They're overwhelmed in certain cases. Because again, you're talking about a repair that took some time, but a repair that has a budget of over $60, in some cases $90,000 per home. And we're not looking at, it's a limited reconstruction. So we're talking about roofs, windows and doors. In certain cases, when there is an effect from the structure of the floors, we would look at that as well. But primarily it's windows, doors, and roofs. But it's like what we did with the police station. We've made it air and water tight, right? So these individuals now have a home that they can feel safe in if we are threatened with a storm, or when we are threatened with a storm in the future.
And SXM Daily News will have more of our exclusive interview with the director of NRPB in Monday's broadcast. Turning now to other news out of Willemstad and in the Netherlands, King Willem-Alexander spoke online on Thursday with representatives of the economy and education sectors in Curaçao about the consequences of the corona outbreak in the Caribbean part of the kingdom. On November the 18th and 19th, the King will speak with representatives from the same sectors on St. Martin and Aruba. Earlier, the King had a video conversation with representatives of the medical sector in Aruba, St. Martin, and Curaçao by means of telephone and online conversations, and where possible, working visits Willem Alexander and Maxima gained information for themselves about the consequences of the corona outbreak and expressed their support and appreciation for the efforts of so many in the fight against the pandemic. And still to come, United Democratic Party supports Reuters' candidacy on slate of D66. I'll have the details of that story and much more when SXM Daily News returns.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching SXM Daily News, and I'm Valerie Van Putten. The United Democratic Party, UDP, is thrilled by the confirmation of its member and former minister contesting the Dutch election in March of 2021 on the slate of D66. While Jorien had to resign from the UDP, we support her all the way with this courageous endeavor. Jorien Reuter, in our opinion, will be an asset to the D66. In the bigger picture of things, having someone rooting for us as member of a party that is pro-Dutch Kingdom is an asset for the island. D66 Party's vision for Kingdom relations highlights cooperation. In our Kingdom of the Netherlands, we share a past and a future. Solidarity comes first. If a disaster like Hurricane Irma devastates an island, or if the crisis in Venezuela also hits the islands, the entire kingdom will be affected. Countless Dutch people have ties with both the European Netherlands and the islands. With a foot on two continents, our kingdom is a factor of importance in Europe and America. D66, therefore, stands for cooperation and mutual reinforcement. D66 party program connected within the kingdom. Jorien's candidacy could be a game changer, and her friends and colleagues of the UDP wish her much success, said UDP leader, Member of Parliament Sarah A. Westcott Williams. And now, as we continue with the St. Martin Day speeches of our local dignitaries commemorating St. Martin's Day, Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, Dr. Randers Rodolph Samuel, in his St. Martin Day message says, that St. Martin makes us feel safe. We will forever feel that love, and even though we are challenged due to the COVID pandemic, St. Martin will always continue to provide us with that unique feeling.
When hearing, seeing, or saying the words St. Martin, Saint Martin, St. Martin, a feeling uniquely related to these words is experienced through our body. Yes, St. Martin makes us feel safe. Because life will do to us what only life can do to us, and life have seen to it that we have experienced St. Martin, we would forever feel that love for our sweet St. Martin's land. Though we are challenged and have to resort to this method of celebration because of the COVID-19 pandemic, wherever we are, St. Martin will always continue to provide us that unique feeling that we would be able to move forward regardless to the situation of life. Let us enjoy this day that we observe as St. Martin's Day, let us bring to mind the good times of St. Martin as we continue to make our contribution ensuring that St. Martin remains an ever-sweet Swaligan experience to us and all who encounter St. Martin in whichever way.
And second Vice President of the Collectivité on French Saint Martin, Valérie Damasso, in her Saint Martin Day message says that she cannot help but think back about the historic relations between the two local governments of the island. The intertwined realities of we the people, not French, not Dutch, but we.
As we commemorate this St. Martin's Day 2020, I can't help but think back of the historic relations between the two local governments of the island, the intertwined realities of we the people, not French, not Dutch, but we, who through much English speaking have forged together this reality called St. Martin. St. Martin Day is a time to re-examine our aspirations of nation building and dream of founding fathers. The various initiatives have been taken by our local governments and must continue to fight until the day where we will be able to co-govern this unique territory that no one understands but we. However, on this 11th day of November, St. Martin's Day, in my capacity of First Vice President in charge of culture, I ask that we do so with traditional enthusiasm in an attempt to highlight and preserve the centuries-old rich culture of this little island of ours. This day must be a demonstration of the peaceful identity that characterizes the culture of our country. November 11th must always be the day when we speak of who we were, of who we are, and who we are aspiring to be. We are crossing some very rough paths since 2017, but if we are honest with ourselves, it goes beyond. And through it all, we continue to demonstrate our resilience. Today, I urge that we as a people don't lose track of our day. I dare you to be part of the solution and not the problem. It is our duty to preserve this day through full demonstration of our culture and uniqueness. St. Martin is known around the world as the Friendly Island, the melting pot of the Caribbean, the gastronomic capital. Let us celebrate moderately, but more importantly, proudly as one people. So while we celebrate our culture, I call on every woman, every man, every boy, and every girl to stand at the gates of progress, recall the courage of the determination of our forefathers, stir up pride, bravery, and watchfulness, and continue that which our ancestors began with conviction.
And as we continue now with more news, in recognition of World Diabetes Day, which will be celebrated on Saturday, November the 14th, which is tomorrow, the St. Martin Lions Club has made use of the club's neighborhood signs to send out an island-wide message. Together, we can stop diabetes. The billboards were recently revamped post-Hurricane Irma and reflect the Lions' colors of yellow and blue on a white background. With the support of local corporate partners across all sectors of industries, the billboards will continue to be used throughout each Lionistic year to send positive messages that would encourage our communities to act towards improving our daily lives. They can be seen alongside major roads, including the entrance of St. John's Estate, Madame Estate, Union Road, and the Airport Road. For the entire month of November, the diabetes message will remain on the billboards. The release reads in part. Now, turning to our weather forecast for November the 13th, 2020, the Atlantic high-pressure system is producing brisk winds, along with a drier and more stable atmosphere across the northeastern Caribbean region. Patches of low-level moisture embedded in the wind flow may still trigger some brief local showers. Moderate marine conditions are expected to prevail for the next few days. Small craft operators and sea bathers should continue to exercise caution. At 10 a.m. this morning, Tropical Depression 31 formed in the Central Caribbean Sea. This system is expected to strengthen and become a hurricane in a few days. This system, however, does not pose a threat to St. Martin as it continues to move west-southwestward away from the island. The Meteorological Department of St. Martin will continue to monitor the progress of this system and keep the public updated accordingly. So the outlook through Sunday midday, partly cloudy and breezy with local showers possible. Now let's turn to your 3-day forecast. And still to come, a member of the AntiPoverty Platform says the Decolonization Committee has her full support. I'll have the details of that story when SXM Daily News returns.
The innovative Banco Matico contactless smart card. Your Banco Matico smart card is now equipped with a contactless feature for payments, so get ready to tap and go. Contactless payments are fast, easy, secure, and accepted worldwide at all Maestro-enabled contactless terminals. Tap for transactions equivalent to or less than 100 NAF, or the US dollar equivalent. You will receive notifications via email anytime you tap. Tap, tap, and pay fast with WIB. For more information, visit our website at wib-bank.net. Tap and go with your partner in progress.
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching SXM Daily News. And in this COVID-related item for this evening, as of November the 12th, there were 4 persons who tested positive for COVID-19. However, there was a recovery rate of 8 persons, bringing the total active cases to 66. The total number of confirmed cases is now 914. The Collective Prevention Services, CPS, are monitoring 59 people in home isolation. 7 patients remain hospitalized at the St. Martin Medical Center. The total number of deaths due to COVID-19 remains at 23. The number of people recovered since the first case surfaced on St. Martin has increased to 825. 221 people are in quarantine based on contact tracing investigations carried out by CPS of persons who may have been in contact with any of the active cases. CPS has tested 1,291 travelers arriving at the Princess Juliana International Airport and 5,780 people throughout the community. As the numbers continue to fluctuate, CPS will continue to actively execute its contact tracing measures. Minister of Public Health reminds the community to remain cautious when in public places. Continue to wear your mask, maintain a social distance of 2 meters, practice good hand hygiene, and be mindful of large gatherings. It is your duty and responsibility to protect yourself and your loved ones. And as we end this edition of SXM Daily News for this evening, member of the St. Martin Anti-Poverty Platform, Mrs. Clay Elshot, speaking at the Anti-Poverty Platform's press briefing yesterday, Thursday, says the discussions by the new elected parliament about the finalization about the decolonization has her full support. She applauds and supports the decision, and she explains why.
The discussions by the new elected parliament about the finalization of the decolonization process have concentrated on their dissatisfaction with the degree of self-governance of our people realized so far within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. A motion to establish a permanent committee in Parliament to address decolonization and constitutional issues was adopted. Reference was made to a full measure of self-governance as mentioned in the Charter of the United Nations in Article 73B. Why do we, as Consumers Coalition, applaud this decision of Parliament, and why does it have our full support? The limitation of sovereignty by providing a degree of self-governance to the people in the Dutch Caribbean imposed since 1954 was further limited since 10 by 10 consensus kingdom laws. This is not a progressive development, but a regressive development, and it is in violation of Article 73 of the United Nations Charter. We could read in the same charter, Article 73 of the UN Charter, that the following is an obligation of all member states of the United Nations and thus of the Netherlands. Number 1, and I quote, to develop at the utmost self-government in the dependent territories under their administration. And number 2, to take due account of all political aspirations of the peoples. And number 3, to assist them in the progressive development of their free political institutions according to a particular circumstances of each territory and its people and their varying stages of advancement. Unquote. The Parliament wants to evaluate our degree of self-governance and achieve a full measure of self-governance by being transparent with the people and addressing their political aspirations and progressively developing their political institutions, and this is very positive. All parliamentarians are in favor of this. However, there are some other aspects that are equally important. These aspects did not get the same attention in the discussion in Parliament. These aspects are also obligations for the member states who are administering dependent territories. What are these aspects that this Parliament did not focus on yet and did not discuss as yet? These aspects can be found in Article 73 of the United Nations Charter, and I quote, number 1, the principle that the interests of the inhabitants of the dependent territories are paramount, and number 2, the obligation to promote to the utmost the well-being of the inhabitants of these territories, unquote. Poverty is not in the interest of the people and is against their well-being. The interests of the more than 13,000 poor and needy households, 94% in St. Martin, is not paramount. In the Netherlands, 92% of the households do not live in poverty. Why didn't Parliament discuss this unequal well-being in the kingdom?
And with that, viewers, it brings us to the end of this edition of SXM Daily News for this evening and also this week. I am Valerie Van Putten, and I thank you so much for joining me this evening. And just a reminder that this and other programs are available online. Simply log on to stmartinmediacenter.com for viewing. And on behalf of the SXM Daily News team, we thank you so much for watching and plan on meeting you right back here again on Monday. Do enjoy a safe weekend.